All right, to our next story. Sometimes I fight between believing that there are no desperate situations, but desperate people, and the other way around. The news coming out of Borno State, if it is anything to go by, the news is not comforting. We learned that at least 10 of our gallant fighting men lost their lives in an ambush while the convoy was moving from Monguno to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, on Thursday. Now, soldiers of one of the super camps in the environment were moving some valuable items and personnel to the theater command at Maiduguri. How did the insurgents get to know that the troops were going through that route? These are desperate times. Are we wrong, Jide, in reacting desperately?
You see, I've always warned that when it appears like there is a lull in the activities of Boko Haram, that we should not relax. We should not think that the war has been won. That you are seeing people surrendering is not an indication that these guys are tired of fighting. The ones who are surrendering, they are not active fighters. How many of them came with their guns? When the two groups, when they
surrendered?
Yes, how many? Go and check. How many of them came? We are talking about 5,000 people having surrendered. How many of them surrendered with guns?
How many guns?
How many guns did we recover? Some of the people surrendering were even women. But when we are talking about people who have surrendered, we simply say Boko Haram members have surrendered. Children, kids and women, plenty of them are kids and women. But we just say generally, oh, Boko Haram fighters have surrendered. That's what we are saying. The core fighters, the ISWAP faction, they are not surrendering. And that is the group capable of taking on the army. We've seen now that within 2 weeks, we've seen big setbacks in that theater of war suffered by our army. First was in Ran. Ran is the capital of Kalabalge local government. It's along the border with Cameroon. The insurgents dislodged the army base there. And people fled. Some of them fled into Cameroon. We saw videos of women and children lamenting that they've been chased out of their community. Now, we have this story about troops trying to move from one location to another. You see, when we created the super camps, the whole idea of creating the super camps was to protect the troops and ensure that equipment casualties that we were suffering was reduced to the barest minimum. Now, the implication of setting up the super camps is that smaller units located in small communities in the theater of war had to be closed for everyone to go into the super camp. Now, in the super camp, you have more weapons because some military bases, small military bases, have been shut down to create a big super camp. So where a camp used to have, where an army base used to have maybe 2 or more tanks, by the creation of the super camp, you could have 5 or 6 more. So which will make the place seemingly impregnable.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, although we've seen Boko Haram dislodge some super camps in the last few months. So now, when you create those super camps for admin work and other reasons, troops must move around. That is why in the aftermath of the creation of the super camps, ambushes became common because troops must move around.
But please,
you must move around.
Ambushes also involves info.
Yes, of course. Boko Haram generates a lot of intelligence. Even the bandits in the northwest, we have information now that they have bribed, they've given money to a lot of old women, young people who provide them with information that is usually actionable. So Boko Haram too uses people. Boko Haram will use people, they will tell them about troops movement and then they strike. But the point that I'm making is, it's inevitable. You are holed up. Look at a place like Monguno. Monguno is the garrison town. the town is safe, but the communities around it are not safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people are not living in the communities around it. That's the local government of the governor of the state, Babagana Umara Zulum.
Okay.
Umara Zulum has not gone to his hometown since 2014.
What a shame.
Yes, he's probably watching me. It's the truth. So this is the thing. Now, when you move around, they will probably somebody is watching. They will tell them, oh, the troops are coming.
Yeah.
And then they will have hidden somewhere. So they have found a way. Even all of those attacks on the governor's convoy, without information, they can't know. They now choose the right time to strike.
Emeka, in taking this home, therefore, we are looking at two enemies, Boko Haram and infiltrators.
Well, the point is that there's no how you have guerrilla warfare that the people won't, out of fear and maybe sympathy, get involved in giving information, even if in a community, maybe a community of let's say 100 people, you will surely have at least 2 or 3 who will be willing to, get money, or just for mischievous, purposes of mischief, get involved in providing support to these insurgents. So it's also part of the war. It's not just being fought. It should not just be fought with guns and weapons, but the propaganda aspect, the aspect where you build confidence in the, you build confidence among the people must be there. And then again, intelligence must precede movements.
Oh, yeah.
Intelligence must precede movement. In any way they are going to do it, we need to really do something about the casualty rate.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Well, Emeka, thank you very kindly. So also, I want to thank Jide for your time.
Thank you.
But our business, as always, is lay the cards on the table before you, aided by facts and figures. So we have done our job for the evening. We leave you to take over from here.